Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Caroline HEIM and I'm here with Dr. Christian HEIM, who is a consultant psychiatrist, and I'm a senior lecturer. Today we're here for your preventative mental health, and we're specifically looking at how self-isolation can lead to depression and what you can do about it. Okay, so trying times, hey?
Trying times is right, and there are a lot of people out there doing it very, very tough. And a lot of people feel that, you know what, it's the virus that's putting a big demand on our hospital system, but it is not just the virus. I know a lot of hospitals that have shown a big increase in people who are presenting with mental health issues, but particularly depression.
Yeah, depression's a big one, isn't it? Okay,
yes, it is.
So, a lot of depression.
A lot of depression, and previously we've talked about the risk factors for depression, and what this coronavirus is doing is putting a lot of pressure on those risk factors for depression.
So what are the risk factors that you've talked about then?
So the way that I look at the risk factors for depression is through an acronym GP-CALL. G is for genetics and P is for personality. And they're the things that we can't do too much about, but the things that we can do something about are in the word call. Chronic stress, chronic pain, chronic illness, alcohol and drugs is the A. Life events, which is an L. Mind you, we can't do anything about this life event, the coronavirus. And the most important one, I believe, is the other L, and that's loneliness. And this coronavirus is putting a lot of pressure on our loneliness. It's a huge life event, and it's a chronic stress for all of it. So it's actually not surprising that it would lead to some depression.
Yeah, so we've got really loneliness, life events, the actual pandemic itself.
That's
really.
right, yes.
And a chronic sort of a stress that we're all feeling, and our baseline anxieties have really gone up too. So
yes.
Yeah, so what does self-isolation and that do to our brain then?
Right, so our brain is undergoing some changes at the moment.
Yeah.
Because of the virus, our baseline anxiety has risen. We all have more worries all of a sudden, so we're just a little bit on edge. But specifically, isolation does something very interesting to the thinking. Now, it's good to think, it's good to try to problem solve, to do what you can, but here's what often happens to people who are in self-isolation. They think, I'm in a bad situation. This feels really bad. How did it get this bad? How can I get out of this? Oh my God, I'm not going to get out of this. I'm in a bad situation. This feels really bad. How did it get this bad? What can we do to get out of this? And since we're not going to get out of this, we're in a bad situation. And they go over and over and over the same issues.
And they get stuck. You feel stuck. Completely stuck, because you can't really do much about it.
Stuck is a very good word for what's going on, because you're doing a lot of thinking, but you're stuck on the same things. And as a psychiatrist, I call this rumination.
Rumination?
Rumination.
Okay.
Rumination. And rumination it's a type of thinking, and it's one of my enemies. Rumination is when you get stuck on one thing all the time. And it can lead to depression, it can lead to anxiety, and it can lead to what we call self-defeating behavior. So the person becomes their own enemy. You want to do something good, but it's like your thinking holds you back, or you actually do something to sabotage yourself.
You trip over yourself.
You trip over yourself, and you get in your own way. Not good. So we've got to get rid of ruminating.
So rumination's the enemy.
Ruminating's the enemy, but there's something else that goes on in the brain. I like to think in terms of brain chemicals.
Okay.
And in isolation and in ruminating, all the good, feel-good brain chemicals go down. We get less pleasure, so that there's less dopamine. We get less hugs, and we're around people less, so that there's less oxytocin. And our sense of contributing to this world and our sense of well-being goes down, which means a lot less serotonin as well. And as a lot of people know, psychiatrists work on serotonin, where they're trying to get people out of anxiety and depression. So all these feel-good chemicals go down in your brain. That's what self-isolation does. Ruminating does it as well. And it's a real problem.
Okay, so We're going down, okay? Our serotonin, our oxytocin.
No, I can feel it.
I know, it's not good. I want to bring us up again. Okay, well, let's look at what we can actually do about this then.
Okay, so what can we do?
Yeah.
First of all, there's an overriding attitude that I'm encouraging people to take during this coronavirus. And that's this. You want to separate the things that you can control from the things that you can't control. Because here's the thing, when you see what you can control and you do something about it, you get to feel good about it.
Yeah.
But most of us, yours truly included, has a tendency to worry about and think about the things that we can't control.
That's true, you do.
And so anyway, this is what ruminating is too.
Yeah.
You end up worrying about things that you can't control and you end up feeling bad about it. So that's the overall attitude, to separate what you can control and what you can't control, and to do something about the things that you can control. And for that, I've got a little 3-letter acronym. It goes by the name PEP.
PEP, as in pep. Pep talk? Pep.
PEP as in a pep talk.
Yeah, okay, so what's the P for?
Okay, the first P is for people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know that's the whole problem, and I know that it's not easy to get around people.
Yeah, we're social distancing, we're not around people.
That's right.
We've got Zoom, we've got everything but.
That's right. So we have this wonderful thing called the internet. But this is the thing. You will need to give yourself a little pep to actually get in contact with somebody. A little pep to start getting together with a peer group in some sort of a chat format. Or give yourself a little pep to make that phone call to your parents, your children, or some friends. Or give yourself a little pep to get in contact with somebody that you haven't heard from for decades, just to see how they're going. They've got time too. They'd love to hear from you, and you would love to hear from them. And this is the thing, when we do things like that, when we do get together with people, our dopamine levels go up because it's pleasure with people. Our oxytocin levels go up because we start to feel a bit of love and trust from people. Our serotonin levels go up because we feel part of it. We feel we're contributing and we feel that there's more well-being. And when you're together with people, even something called beta endorphins goes up.
Yeah, it's good. Even if it's online, just that one time a day, just once a day, would be really good. I know it certainly lifts me. Okay, so what's the E for?
The E in PEP is for exercise. And no matter where you are, I'm sure that your government is letting you out of the house to do some exercise. And so you think, okay, this is good for my physical health. But it's not just your physical health. We humans need exercise for our mental health, for our mental well-being. We go stir crazy if we do nothing inside all the time. You get out there, you get the blood flowing, you get oxygen to your brain, you get glucose to your brain says, thank you, that makes me feel good, I can work a bit harder, and the brain says, here blood, take away all these waste materials, I'll feel a lot better as well. So when you exercise, your body and your brain gets to strut its stuff and feel good. And we have so many studies in the field of psychiatry showing that exercise can help prevent depression. Exercise is part of a good treatment plan for depression. Exercise makes you feel good. So you want to do a bit more of it, not just your usual amount. Do more exercise during this time.
I'm actually feeling better just talking about it, so that's good.
Okay,
all right.
That's good, because you can use this talk as a little pep
it's
to actually do the exercise. That's the thing, you've actually got to do the exercise.
Yeah, great. Okay, so what's the last P for?
The last P in PEP is plan. Plan to do stuff. Now, we actually know that doing stuff is good for us, but you know what? Sometimes we don't feel like it. We feel like staying in bed. I mean, you know, there's not a job to get up for.
Yeah.
Why should I get up?
Yeah, and then you're down that vortex again.
Then down that vortex, So as a psychiatrist, I say to the people that I work with, do something at 9 o'clock in the morning. It'll make you feel good, and you want to feel good. And some people will go, okay, I'll do a crossword puzzle or a Sudoku puzzle at 9 o'clock every morning.
Why those?
Why those?
Yeah.
Well, you can do a whole lot of other things, but we use those as good examples. One, because they're intellectually engaging.
Okay.
So if you're ruminating on things, for the time that you're trying to work out how many nines have I got, does a 9 go in this row, or what's that word that I need, your mind can't be ruminating on other things. So it engages your mind, and it's actually fun, all right? Or some other people will do a jigsaw puzzle.
Okay.
And the thing about doing a jigsaw puzzle is you just need to find one more piece, and you get that feeling of, I'm progressing. This is better than it was yesterday. I feel good about that. And you want to feel good.
Yeah.
Just a few more 9 o'clock suggestions. If you've ever thought that you want to learn another language, this is the time to do it.
Okay.
If you've wanted to become a mini expert on Tudor England, this is the time to do a bit of study. Or if you want to just investigate a few scientific matters, nothing to do with viruses.
No.
No.
Not a good idea.
Not a good idea, but something that you're interested in,
Yeah.
and you want to study. It's time to do the things that you've always wanted to do. And then your 9 o'clock productivity can become part of a daily rhythm and routine, including exercise, including getting on with people, including 9 o'clock study, and that will give you enough activity to help you sleep better.
Yeah, so that really helps your mental health too. So it's actually putting that rhythm and routine in, so you've got certain things. You're actually talking to your brain about it, you know.
Yes.
You're actually saying, hey, you know, this is actually good for
Yeah.
your brain.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to do it, even if we don't feel like it. We're going to do it. We're
Yeah.
going to do it. We're going to put it in place. We're going to give our brain a pep talk.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that little, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Come on, brain, let's do
Yeah.
it. That's the pep. You have to give yourself a little bit of a pep drive to actually contact people, to do the exercise,
yeah.
and to plan your activities.
Sounds good.
Yeah, because eventually when we're through this, you want to be getting up in time to have a job, to look for a job, to take back the job that you had, to do whatever it is that
Yeah.
makes you feel good. And that'll be good for the brain chemicals.
Okay, guys, so remember PEP, P, E, and P. P is for,
People,
E is for,
exercise,
and P.
plan to do stuff.
Okay, great. So give yourself that pep talk, give your brain that pep talk, and take care, okay? And we'll see you next time.
Take care.